Since 2017, the nation's first ever youth poet laureate, Amanda Gorman, has been reciting poetry around the country, including with the Boston Pops at the 4th of July.
From our struggle comes our strength. For the lengths we fight for what is right is the fullest measure of our country's might.
Yesterday, Gorman graduated from Harvard University, and she joined me recently to talk about commencement and creativity during COVID-19. But first, here's a poem she wrote to inspire hope in this moment. It's called The Miracle of Mourning.
I thought I'd awaken to a world in mourning. Heavy clouds crowding, a society storming, but there's something different on this golden morning. Something magical in the sunlight, wide and warming. I see a dad with a stroller taking a jog across the street. A bright-eyed girl chases her dog. A grandma on a porch fingers her rosaries. She grins as her young neighbor brings her groceries. While we might feel small, separate, and all alone, our people have never been more closely tethered. The question isn't if we will weather this unknown, but how we will weather this unknown together. So on this meaningful morn, we mourn and we mend like light. We can't be broken even when we bend. We ignite not in the light, but in lack thereof. For it is in loss that we truly learn to love. In this chaos, we will discover clarity. In suffering, we must seek solidarity. We'll observe how the burdens braved by humankind are also the moments that make us humans kind. Let each morning find us courageous, brought closer, heeding the lights before the fight is over. When this ends, we'll smile sweetly, finally seeing in testing times we became the best of beings.
Amanda Gorman, it's such a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited.
I'll pick up where you've just left off with The Miracle of Mourning. This is a poem that you wrote in this moment. Tell me about how it came to be.
I felt like my world and my country was in a very dark place. And so we decided to try to write this poem as a type of reminder of all the things that we have to be grateful and hopeful for. And really the inspiration for the poem came from watching people in their daily lives.
Well, it's funny because that was going to be one of the questions I asked you is it difficult to write? Is it difficult to be creative in this time where so many people are struggling?
I will be honest and say that the struggle is there. As I reflect and I was writing that poem, I was thinking about, Martin Luther King writing from a Birmingham jail, a letter on racial injustice. I was thinking about Nelson Mandela writing and reading while he was in jail for decades. I was thinking of Anne Frank writing while she was hiding from Nazis. And so all that is to say, I was thinking about what do humans do when they are scared and alone and isolated from the rest of the world? And often it's truth-telling and it's telling stories that matter.
You're the nation's first youth poet laureate. What opportunity, what responsibility does that bring?
I would say an incredible responsibility. I remember when I was named the inaugural Youth Poet Laureate, there was this feeling of pressure because I knew it was the guinea pig, I knew it was the first one. And beyond that, my naming was a provocation in itself, in that I was Black, I'm female, I'm young. And so there were all these kind of intersectionalities of my identity, which made this beyond the status quo. And so there was an extreme, I think, duty of sense of proving that this title is worthwhile and giving it to youth voices and especially marginalized voices.
With your mom as an English teacher, was there any other path for you other than to be the nation's Youth Poet Laureate?
It's so funny that you say that because I remember when I told my mom I wanted to be a writer, her reaction was kind of like, oh God. My mom's been incredibly supportive of me. She's my number one cheerleader. But when she looked in my eyes and I was even still young and saw that I was very serious, that this was the career that I wanted for myself, she knew that the journey of a writer can be hard. It can be lonely. It can be strenuous, and you're not always compensated in the ways that you should be. And so I think my mom was kind of like, I want any other path if possible.
You have had these incredible brushes already with Hillary Clinton and Lin-Manuel Miranda, most recently Oprah Winfrey.
Right.
And as you're so young to have this happen, but what does that mean to you? Is it giving license to poets, or yeah, what does it mean to have that wind at your sails?
Right. That's such a great question, because even I look up and I'm like, what is my life? What is going on? I mean, when I met Oprah, it was literally like I was living a dream.
You've just had your graduation from Harvard. What is it to graduate in this time and to be deprived of that physical gathering?
To be honest, not having that in that kind of traditional way has just taught me what's most important about those moments. If I can still find a way to celebrate and be joyous with my family. You know, I bring up the fact that I'm the descendant of slaves. Moreover, I'm the descendant of a slave named Amanda. So that type of trajectory from my family being property to generations later me graduating from a place like Harvard, that speaks to such a larger legacy than myself. And just because I might not be in an auditorium does not belittle that accomplishment in any way, shape, or form.
Well, before we leave, I know you have one other poem that you're going to perform. I heard from my producers you didn't, as of about 2 hours ago, have a title for it. I'm wondering if you have a title now.
Oh,
Oh.
I did come up with one, and then I was like, scratch that. I will TBD name this The New World. But to give you some contextualization, this is a poem that I kind of wrote reflecting on what it means to graduate here now in the times that we are in, and what that means for the world.
Well, Amanda Gorman, it's been such a pleasure to speak with you. You are making a world of difference already, and especially right now. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much.
Today, we burst into a new world. Around the globe, you might not be wearing your robe, but this is our moment, our ode. So let's own it. Let's smile, because we didn't mount this milestone alone. This took a village. We are the impossible image only ever seen in our ancestors' wildest dreams. This is a rite of passage, but more so the passage of light. We, the bright torch that never stops burning, never quits learning. This night too shall pass, and when it does, this 2020 class won't just navigate a new normal. Together, we'll build a better one. We come to this commencement to search no more. We're the good news we've been looking for, demonstrating that every desk holds a dawn disguised within it. Today, we don't burst into a new world. We begin it.